Okay, I think we are live. Yes, I believe so. Let's just check and make sure. But I believe we are live. We're just waiting a few minutes till it is straight up 11 o'clock my time, which is Mountain Standard Time, 10 a.m. Pacific and 1 p.m. Eastern. So we'll just kind of see where we're at here. If you're here, you can go ahead and say hey in the chat. Say hello and where you're from. And we will get going with the presentation in just a second. Give me a minute to pull up the slides. Okay. Yes. That one. I want it here. And we are going to get going here in just a second. Just a second. Let's just get all that opened up. Slides are ready. I am ready. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me okay. That shouldn't be a problem. In the chat. And we are going, I think. All right, we have got 2 minutes till it's straight up 11 o'clock. So I will go ahead and just wait the 2 more minutes here and make sure you've got everybody on board, and then we will get started. All right. Get rid of that. And then we will get started. Okay. Great. Okay, we are going to go ahead and dive into this webinar. We've got everybody here, and we've got sound, and we've got everything that we need to get rolling. So, hello and good morning or good afternoon, wherever you are. My name is Brynna Haddock. I am a recovered dieting disaster turned health coach. And today I'm going to teach you the 3 secrets to permanent weight loss without dieting, counting, or food restrictions of any kind. So go ahead and get focused in, get rid of any distractions, and be ready for this really awesome experience. Also, be sure to stay tuned to the very end, where I will have a special limited time discount offer for you. So you don't want to miss that. And with that, we are going to dive in. So I'm guessing for a lot of you, this isn't your first webinar or even really your first weight loss webinar. If you've tried to lose weight and you haven't even made a dent, or you've lost weight but you've gained it all back, it's not your fault. There are so many diets and plans out there, and all that information overload can be really overwhelming. It makes it nearly impossible to find something that works and is sustainable. So if you're concerned that you just can't succeed with lasting weight loss, I want to put those fears to rest. You can do this. You just need the right person to walk you through it. Traditional diets tell you that you need to meticulously track your eating, cut out food groups, and do miserable and exhausting exercise to lose weight. I am here to tell you that they are wrong. There are many reasons that these messages persist, but they simply are not true. The dieting industry has grossed over $60 billion a year across the last decade. They don't benefit from you quitting diets and never looking back. They profit off you bouncing from one diet plan to the next with your weight yo-yoing up and down the scale. The difference with me is that I truly care about your success, you never needing another diet plan again, and living the life you're dreaming about. So that's why we are here. I know you have a dream of reaching your ideal weight and staying there and just being normal with food. And I want to show you how to make that happen during this webinar. So my goal for this presentation is to help two types of people. For those of you who are new, you'll see how diets are keeping you stuck and how to move away from them to achieve your weight loss goals. For those of you familiar with quitting diets, you'll get a clear outline for how to continue making progress towards diet-free weight loss and total freedom with food. So the goals for this class are to help you to understand that the only way to lose weight permanently is by quitting diets. And the only way to quit diets successfully for lasting weight loss is by using the 3 diet-proof principles I'm about to teach you. So just a little bit more about who I am. I am a wife. I'm a mom to 6 kids ranging in age from 14 years old down to 18 months. I am a certified health coach through the Institute of Integrative Nutrition in New York City. I overcame 20 years of compulsive dieting and binge eating by using the very principles I now teach in my Diet Proof program. I reached my ideal weight going from a size 12 to a size 2. Remember, I'm really short and small framed, so that number may seem a little extreme. I promise you it's not. But I did that without any counting, measuring, tracking, food substituting, obsessing, or depriving. In other words, without dieting. I went from a total disaster to total mastery with food by practicing what I now preach. Now I can show up in my life with confidence and energy and power because I am no longer in a constant battle with my body and with food. So for 3 years now, I have been working with clients one-on-one to support them on their own weight loss without dieting journeys. I starved my way through high school, literally. At one point, I weighed only 75 pounds. You can imagine the emotional pain I was experiencing and also trying to avoid with my obsession. Then I binged my way through college. I ate anything I could get my hands on at all hours of the day or night. And of course, I did. It's college. So after college, I got married. I had 3 pregnancies in my late 20s. Then I had 2 more pregnancies in my late 30s. Yes, living the dream. My weight fluctuated all over nearly a 100-pound range for 2 entire decades. I tried every diet, known and unknown, only to end up heavier than when I started. By the end of my dieting career, I had dieted, cleansed, and lifestyle changed my way to the heaviest I had ever been. My binge sessions had me terrified by their intensity. Afterwards, I would Google things like food addiction recovery, binge eating disorder, and Overeaters Anonymous. That is, if I wasn't in the bathroom trying to throw up all the food or out running miles and miles trying to burn all the extra calories I'd just consumed. All I wanted was to be thin and stop binging and be normal with food. Was that so much to ask? I thought if I could be thin, I would, of course, have perfect control over every aspect of my life. Everyone would like me. I'd be accepted and included and loved both by myself and the people around me. If I were thin, I would be worthy. I just knew it. But every diet I went on was only making my weight problem and obsession with food worse. I remember one cleanse I tried to start. It began with a 24-hour fast, and then you were only supposed to eat melon and romaine lettuce to break the fast that evening. Well, I would do the fast, and then when it was done, I would eat everything in the kitchen except for the romaine and the melon. I must have gained 10 pounds trying to start that stupid cleanse. Ironically enough, at this time, I was also studying to be a health coach. I know, I have to laugh now too. It was all part of the madness. But during my studies, I was introduced to the book Intuitive Eating and the writings of emotional eating expert Janine Roth. Their overall message was that the path to healing, peace, and weight loss was to end all dieting and restriction with food. It seemed crazy and completely counterintuitive. But as the only place dieting had ever gotten me was as big as I had ever been, perhaps there was some validity to what they were saying. So I determined if I was going to be fat and miserable anyway, I might as well skip the dieting step altogether. It was terrifying to move away from the sense of control that dieting gave me, even though it was just an illusion and I knew it. I couldn't go on like I was. That's the beautiful thing about rock bottom. In our desperation, we begin to entertain ideas that we never would have considered before. I decided to give this just so crazy it just might work plan of quitting diets a try. I threw away our bathroom scale and vowed to never look at one again. I figured if the number really didn't matter, I didn't even need to know it. I stocked the kitchen cupboards with all my favorite foods and my binge foods, chocolate and baked goods, breads and pastas. There was cheese and sausage in the fridge and ice cream in the freezer. I ate M&Ms and cookie dough for breakfast. Yes, I did. Within a matter of weeks, my binge sessions had disappeared. It turns out when you sit down and eat cake for lunch and you actually pay attention and enjoy it, you don't need to eat a whole pan of it after dinner in a guilt-ridden frenzy. I felt calmer and happier than I had in a long time. However, I was still dealing with leftover dieting mentality and some emotional eating. And I had no idea how to change that. Plus, I had gained weight. Now, not the 100 pounds I originally feared I might gain, because as the binges ended, it all kind of started evening out. But still, I had gained, not lost. And it was at this point, I wondered if I should just go back to dieting. This no restrictions with food had been a fun little detour, but it wasn't really a long-term solution. But then I thought, if I start dieting again, would my binges return? I could not go back to that dark, self-destructive place, ever. And I realized at this point that my crazy plan to quit dieting had given me so much more than permission to eat pasta whenever I wanted. It had helped me to see that I was worthy right then, at my heaviest weight, of all the things I had previously thought I had to be thin to have. And I was discovering that control didn't equal happiness, and that perfection was a myth. And I knew I couldn't go back. I had to press forward and figure this thing out. If I was destined to stay heavy, so be it. I had to stay this course. So I kept working, I kept reading, I kept learning. I saw a professional therapist and I worked with several coaches. And gradually, I pieced together a set of foundational skills and principles to help me unravel my lingering food issues and help me to structure my eating into sustainable, non-restrictive patterns. Over the course of a year, 3 years after my initial crazy plan to stop dieting for good, using my newly created diet-proof principles, I lost all the extra weight. I went from a size 12 to a size 2, keeping in mind that a size 2 is not too skinny for me. Then I had one more baby, gained 40 pounds, and using the same principles, lost it all again. It was not a fluke. It was repeatable. Now, I realize that some of you may have not had the extreme experiences with food that I went through, and that's okay. Regardless of your own backstory or where you are right now, I know that the 3 diet-proof secrets can help you lose weight without any food restrictions. But they've also given me and my clients so much more than that. We feel confident and free around food. We know we can trust ourselves in any situation. We make choices that serve our minds and our bodies well. Most importantly, we know that no matter what size jeans we are putting on, we are already 100% worthy of every good thing life has to offer. And a diet never gave me any of that. Diets and food restrictions of some sort are the traditional way to lose weight. And because it's the traditional way, people believe it's the only way. It's the way your doctor and your it's the way your doctor and your coworker and your mom will tell you to do it. White knuckle through the miserable diet and hope to heaven that this time it sticks. But it's not sustainable, so nothing really changes and you end up heavier than when you began. The diet-proof principles offer you a way to create lasting changes, learn powerful skills, and apply principles to tackle any food situation. So the results are permanent. Let me tell you about my client, Alexis. She was working in her profession part-time. She was married with a toddler at home. When we started working together, she was coming home from work, going to the kitchen, and basically eating without stopping until she went to bed at 11 p.m. every day. After just 3 months of us working together on these diet-proof principles, she had ended her binges, began losing weight, and had energy for her daughter and her husband again. And as an added bonus, when she stopped spending her nights eating, she had time to work on her U.S. naturalization papers. She is now almost a U.S. citizen, something she had been meaning to do for years. She says, "Before I worked with Brynna, my life was consumed by losing and gaining the same 40 pounds over and over again. I was stuck in what felt like a lifelong restrict binge cycle. I knew I couldn't go back to dieting, counting calories, or any of the other plans I had tried. Using the diet-proof secrets, I gained the confidence that I can reach my goals without a strict plan. Listening to my body has been so much easier than I thought. Brynna gave me the guidance I needed and was able to lead me through the whole process. I'm looking forward to leading a binge-free life and to fit into a smaller size without dieting. Freedom from food has been the best motivation ever." So yes, she lost weight, which is awesome, but she also got her life back, which is priceless. So here are the 3 secrets we are going to cover in the next few minutes that we have together. Number 1 is to end deprivation, how to recognize and root out the diet mentality, past, present, and future. Secret number 2 is to neutralize food polarization, how the good food, bad food labels drive your overeating and what to do about it. And secret number 3 is to find true pleasure with food, how to get your appetite on your side again. So, diet-proof secret number 1 is to end dieting deprivation by allowing all foods at all times and rooting out the diet mentality that likes to linger long after the diet is over. Let me tell you a story about when I first quit dieting and allowed myself to eat whatever I wanted. I was terrified that if I stopped strictly controlling what I ate, I'd never stop eating. But when I began eating previously off-limits foods, such as cake for breakfast, I'd sit down and eat it with a fork, off a plate, paying attention. And that urge and pull to eat the entire pan after dinner disappeared within a few weeks. It was gone. The control had been driving my overeating, not the other way around. And it isn't just me. Another client told me this story. In the beginning, she said she had been concerned that listening to her body's signals instead of dieting or counting calories couldn't possibly be precise enough to help her lose weight. But as she got into the program, one day she went to Chick-fil-A for lunch and she ordered her favorite wrap sandwich and a Diet Dr. Pepper. She said this was typically just the right amount of food to fill her up. However, on this day, she was about 2/3 of the way through her wrap and she felt completely full. Strange, she thought. I usually need to eat the whole thing. She took another drink of her soda, then paused. One more sip. Her Dr. Pepper wasn't diet. It was regular. So she had, calorically speaking, gotten enough to eat because the soda had calories. Her amazing body had been able to tell she'd gotten enough fuel and sent the fullness signals to let her know it was time to stop eating. So you're probably thinking that if you allowed yourself to eat all foods, you would be completely out of control and never stop eating. But actually, what you resist persists. It's your very efforts to control the food that keeps it in control of you. And you're probably thinking you need to monitor the whole process. What gets measured gets managed, after all, right? I remember hearing that a million times at Weight Watchers. But just like the Dr. Pepper story, your body is brilliant and amazing and can do this all by itself when you learn how to listen to and understand its signals. Or you might be thinking, that's great, but I've tried everything. I can't lose weight. This is just my body. Now, believe me, I am short and curvy. I've done everything possible out there, include starve myself, and I've never kept the weight off permanently, if I managed to get any off at all. The goal is not to be a waif like runway model, but rather to get to your natural ideal weight and stay there. And while that looks different for everyone, it is possible for everyone. But the only way my clients and I have ever done it is by allowing all foods. It works. Nothing else does. Can you imagine if that happened for you? So now I've shown you that the secret number one of allowing all foods is the first step down the only path to lasting weight loss through peace, ease, and normalcy with food. Isn't that awesome? Okay, so let's move on to secret number two, which is to neutralize food polarization. How to get rid of the good foods, bad foods diet mentality. One of my favorite authors and emotional eating expert, Janine Roth, says most of our extra calories come from eating what we think we should eat and then eating what we really wanted. I remember one night, I really wanted to have one of these snickerdoodle brownies a friend had brought over, but I felt I'd had enough treats for the day. I found myself in the kitchen every 5 minutes all evening, eating pretty much all the food except for the snickerdoodle brownie that I wanted. When I finally sat down and allowed myself to eat the brownie, I was satisfied and I didn't have an urge to eat more or to keep going back to the kitchen. How much trouble would I have saved myself if I had just done that 2 hours earlier? I had a client, Kate. She was terrified to go to a barbecue coming up because all of her favorite bad foods would be there. We talked about just getting a plate of what looked the best and the most satisfying to her and not worrying about if it was good or bad for her and just to enjoy eating it. At our next session, she came back and reported that she had done what we talked about. She ate as much as she needed of the foods she loved, then stopped eating and enjoyed the party without feeling that continual pull to go back to the food table, which usually plagued her all through events like this. She was absolutely thrilled. A recent study at the McCombs School of Business was looking at the marketing advantage of calling a food, quote unquote, healthy. In their setup, they were testing how people saw the relationship between how healthy and how satiating something is. and how this perception actually impacts hunger and eating behaviors. The health label consistently led to not only stronger feelings of hunger, but also increased food consumption every time. I have a link if you ever want to read more about this study. Now, at this point, you're probably thinking, that's nice, but I really need to be eating quality, clean, nutritious foods, or whatever word you want to use, to lose weight. Last year, I was working with a client and I asked her about her breakfast routine and if we needed to make any changes there. She said, "No, I'm all good at breakfast. I always eat oatmeal and a green smoothie." I asked her if she was usually hungry at breakfast. Yes, she was hungry. I asked her if she ever felt too full after breakfast. Well, yes, she admitted, but it's oatmeal and a green smoothie. It's healthy. I have to eat it all. The label caused her to check out from her body's signals. Clean, quote unquote, extra calories are still extra calories. Or you might be thinking, I just have no willpower around my favorite bad foods. I want you to consider that willpower is not needed here. When your body is well fed and not worried about starving, that survival drive that you thought was always trying to derail your goals actually becomes your greatest ally. It does not want to be sluggish and overfull because it wants to be ready for the fight or flight response. For my birthday last year, we went to my favorite Italian restaurant for dinner. I told myself I could go crazy, eat as much as I wanted, stuff my face, YOLO, and all that jazz. But when I'd eaten about a third of my entree, I was done. You know how big those entrees are. Anyway, I told myself to keep eating, but I just couldn't. There was no reason to eat myself sick. And I am telling you, 10 years ago, I could have plowed through that whole thing without a second thought. You don't need willpower. You need satisfaction. Or you may be feeling like, once I start eating my trigger foods, I can't stop. I can't keep those foods around me at all. I had a friend who always identified herself as a cookie monster, she called herself. She could always eat cookies anytime, any place, in huge quantities. She just decided cookies are my trigger. I love them and I always will. However, she had also always tried to limit her fat intake, leftover 80s and 90s dieting mentality. And so she had this bad foods label on foods that were more nourishing and satisfying, and she wouldn't eat them. So she ended up overcompensating with sugar and baked goods. When she started eating the previously forbidden, quote unquote, high fat bad foods like eggs and meat and cheese, for the first time ever, she could eat just 1 or 2 cookies and be fine. That bad food label is what had been keeping her trigger foods so powerful. So now I've shown you what powerful changes you can make in your eating and how much you can reduce overeating with the secret number 2 of neutralizing foods and getting rid of the good food, bad food labels left over from dieting. Can you see yourself doing this and getting in touch with your body's signals as well? And now on to our last secret, number 3. This is finding true pleasure with food and how to get your appetite back on your side again. In the darkest depths of my problems with food, I was in so much pain. I was sure my body was out to get me and ruin me. I have already mentioned that my powerful binges had me thinking I was a food addict or had binge eating disorder. But the interesting thing is that eating wasn't even that enjoyable. It was compulsive and I couldn't stop, but I didn't actually enjoy the experience very much. When I finally started allowing all foods and got rid of the good food, bad food labels, secrets number 1 and 2, I started having pleasurable eating experiences again. When I started enjoying eating again, it stopped feeling so compulsive and out of control. I could feel my appetite for food get satisfied. And all of a sudden, I could be done eating. All done. I could walk away. That had been a totally foreign concept to me for an entire 20 years. But there I was, stopping eating pie halfway through one slice, and I was fine. Satisfying my appetite with pleasurable eating experiences got my appetite to help me avoid overeating. For all those years, I thought it was driving my overeating. During one of my recent fun challenges I do in my private Facebook group, one participant, Emily, commented that by sitting down to eat her treat and really enjoying it, she realized she didn't even like it as much as she always used to, or as much as she remembered. She realized that it was actually possible to have enough of this food, a food she had never had much control with. But by creating a pleasurable eating experience with it, her appetite was able to be satisfied, and she could use that to stop eating at the right time. Now, at this point, you might be saying, I have a physical addiction or a disorder with food. But actually, what you have is just a very powerful survival drive that is doing its job to keep you alive in the face of what it is convinced is a perpetual famine. Or you may be thinking, I have so much weight to lose. This won't be enough. I know a fellow coach who was depressed and morbidly obese. She started using the secret of pleasurable eating only, nothing else. And over the course of 2 years, she went down to a size 10, somewhere she never thought she would be again. At that point, she thought she had arrived, but over the next year, she continued to lose weight, and now she maintains a size 4, just with this secret. Or perhaps you are thinking of what everyone always says, that until you deal with all your deep past emotional trauma, you can't lose the weight. I have a friend who was sexually abused as a child. She is also an extremely talented pianist. But I never hear anyone say, wow, it's so crazy that she plays the piano so well, given her difficult past. She went to a good teacher, she learned skills, she practiced them consistently, and now she plays the piano like a pro. Same thing here. You can learn to do this. You can practice and get better, and pretty soon you can be nailing it most of the time. And that isn't contingent on you fixing any other area of your life first. You can get good at these secrets just like you learn any other skill. So now I've shown you how creating pleasurable eating experiences satisfies your appetites and satisfies your appetites, just one, and gets it back working for you, not against you. Isn't that amazing? So let me ask you a question. If you followed what I showed you in secret number 1 and began allowing all foods at any time and got rid of the good food, bad food labels in secret number 2, so you could create completely pleasurable and satisfying eating experiences that allowed your appetite to get back on your team again from secret number 3, do you think you could be successful? So how many of you are excited about what we've talked about so far? How many of you are feeling a little overwhelmed? My husband likes to call this type of learning with lots of new information very quickly the fire hose method. Now, it really isn't possible for me to show you everything you need to know to be successful with these secrets in just a one-time presentation, but I have tried to cram in as much as possible. So I've created a special course designed for those who are ready to move forward and really implement these awesome new skills. May I take a few minutes to share it with you? Just give me a thumbs up in the comment feed. Okay. The offer is my online coaching program, the Diet Proof Life. You will have full lifetime access to the curriculum, including any and all updates and improvements I make over time. Here is what we are going to cover in this course. In week 1, we will go into the diet-proof secrets in even more depth, so you have a firm understanding and very concrete, actionable ways to implement them. In week 2, we will create your diet-proof mindset, so this doesn't turn into just another diet. In week 3, we will practice diet-proof hunger. In week 4, we will dive into diet-proof satisfaction. Then by week 5, you'll be ready for the diet-proof living section with tons of awesome strategies and hacks to help you keep digging deeper. And then week 6 is diet-proof food and movement. This content will be dripped out a week at a time rather than giving it to you all at once, so you can focus on, work on, and begin to master each concept and skill one at a time before moving on. Research continues to show that this is the best way to make changes that last. So that is how I do it. Now, let me share about a few people who have gone through this curriculum with me in a one-on-one setting. Maria has 3 small children. She found that her whole day revolved around food, either eating it or preparing it or trying to avoid it. As she implemented what she was learning, she began to use food to cope less and less throughout her day. She even stopped making different foods for every single person at their family meals, which reduced so much stress in her life. And here's what she had to say. I've experienced a whole new level of freedom. I don't scold myself when I eat out or worry about what I'm eating and when I'm eating and how I'm eating. I highly recommend this program. Jessie was eating in secret and struggling with good food, bad food labels in a constant internal power struggle about food. She says, after working with Brynna, I am able to truly enjoy food for maybe the first time since I was a child. This program has taught me how to control my emotional eating by listening to my body. Now I look forward to eating out and going to parties because I am not stressed about stuffing or denying myself. Best of all, this coaching has enabled me to pass healthy eating attitudes to my 4 daughters. And maybe my favorite story from Nora. She didn't know if weight loss was possible before dealing with other emotional issues, but she took a real leap of faith. Her results were almost immediate. She says, this program taught me how to let my body manage my food intake. It taught me the right mindset and what body signals to watch for. I have lost weight slowly but surely, which is exactly what I was looking for. I'm so glad I got this coaching. I have learned things I will always remember. I feel better and healthier. So after these examples, I want to go back and make sure you realize who this program is for. It's for people who have 100 pounds to lose or just 10 more to go. It's even for people who don't want to lose a lot of weight, but want to feel more peace and ease around food and create better habits. You might be thinking you can't get started with this program because this is such a big change and you have so much going on. You'll take care of this when things settle down. Let me tell you why that's a mistake that will keep you from the success I know you want to experience. When you sign up today, you are going to get lifetime access to the Diet Proof Life online coaching program, a value of $897. You are also going to get, I think that's supposed to be $997. I think there's a mistake in my slide. You are also going to get, let's see, 6 weeks of live coaching and support, Q&As, plus a year of access to my private Facebook support group. With this awesome resource, you'll be able to find the help, answers, and support you need specific to you without having to go to any support groups or meetings or buy any more books or even get out of bed if you don't want to. You'll be able to figure things out from the privacy and comfort of your own home. You won't have to wonder if you're getting things right or if your concerns are normal. You won't have to wait until the next session or the next meeting to ask a question. Support is just a click away. When I first started out, I was all alone. It was terrifying. I had no idea what I was doing, no one to ask. I just had to figure things out on my own. If I had a problem, I had to research in books or online and then figure out what worked through trial and error. This support that I'm offering takes all the guesswork out of the process of losing weight without dieting. I've spent thousands of dollars on coaches and therapists and books and trainings to boil things down to the curriculum I've created in the Diet Proof Life. There is no reason for you to reinvent the wheel. I'm here to support you so that you don't have to spend the same amount of time and money I did to successfully lose weight without dieting. You'll be able to do it right from the very beginning. At this point, you may be wondering if an online curriculum is the best model for these amount of changes that you would like to make. But an online course really can deliver. You can go at your own pace. You can go back and review sections that need more work. You can work and learn and practice at times that are convenient for you, even if that's not during regular business hours. You can access the support and coaching sessions anytime you need them. You don't have to try and remember everything or take perfect notes in a meeting or a session. All the information is right here when you need it. Plus, the guide, me, who can walk you through it, is right here. So you're not going it alone. Is this making sense so far? So you are getting the lifetime access to the Diet Proof coaching program valued at $997 and also 6 weeks of live coaching and support, plus a year of access to my private Facebook support group valued at $497 for a total of $1,494. In addition, you will receive my Diet Proof exercise guide as a free bonus. This will help you exercise smarter, not harder. No more crazy expensive personal trainers or exhausting eternal gym sessions. This will help you create an efficient, effective exercise routine no matter your starting fitness level. It is completely customizable. Now, you may be thinking, I hate to exercise. Good. I always used extreme exercise as a way to try and lose weight. I was always entering races or competitions for motivation, but I never lost weight and I hated it. Super long cardio and extreme exercise stresses the body out, especially women's bodies, and it can disrupt our delicate hormone balance. It can actually cause us to hold on to excess weight. So this guide will teach you simple, quick, effective exercise routines you can do easily with little or no equipment. Are you ready to get started with smart, balancing exercise? So you are getting the lifetime access to the Diet Proof coaching program valued at $997. Then 6 weeks of live coaching and support, plus a year of access to my private Facebook support group valued at $497. And the bonus Diet Proof exercise guide, a value of $297 for a total of $1,791. And more bonuses. When you buy today, you'll get my Diet Proof Meals template. Because I had been dieting for so long, it was really hard to move away from strict meal plans and food lists. I didn't know how to navigate the smorgasbord of food options now available to me. But I still had to feed a family and stay in a budget, so I needed some sort of system without it feeling restrictive or diety at all. After years of experimenting, I usually get it right now. So I created this awesome template so you can hit the ground running. Plus, you are never going to have to purchase expensive, yucky diet foods again. You can buy regular foods from the regular grocery store, foods you actually like and will actually eat. No more wasting money on the foods you think you should buy and then letting them go to waste. This template will help you be efficient and budget friendly. Now, you might be thinking, but I don't have a family or I rarely cook. No problem. This bonus can still help you organize your meals so you are always getting the most pleasure and satisfaction out of your eating experiences. Easy peasy, right? So you are getting the lifetime access to the Diet Proof Coaching Program, valued at $997, 6 weeks of live coaching and support, plus a year of access to my private Facebook support group, valued at $497, and the bonus Diet Proof exercise guide, a value of $297, plus the Diet Proof meal planning template for a value of another $297, for a total of $2,088. And because I really want you to have so much success in the Diet Proof Life Coaching Program, I have one more awesome bonus for you when you enroll. It is the Diet Proof Mindset Flowchart and Cheat Sheets. When I first started this journey, sometimes I get stuck in certain moments and not know what to do. It took a long time for me to train my mind and my habits to deal with new situations and how to handle them. Part of that is because change does take time, but part of it was that I didn't know what I could do to change my long-held thought and behavior patterns. So first, I had to figure out what I should be thinking or doing, and then I had to create ways to coach myself through it. These flow charts and cheat sheets are designed to take all that work and figuring out and put it into one awesome resource for you. You can coach yourself through tricky spots instantly. No trying to apply random strategies or pour through self-help books to figure out what you need to do. Just grab your cheat sheets and you are set. Now, you might be thinking, I get into some pretty crazy scrapes with food. Can a cheat sheet really help me? I think of them as flashcards. The more often you see them, the easier it is to remember the information and access it more quickly when you need it. Our brains can learn and build new paths, and it gets easier and easier when you practice often. I want you to know something about me. I am no one special. I am not a unicorn with supernatural gifts or mind powers. I actually really struggled with anxiety and perfectionist thinking, and that's what I love about the Diet Proof mindset. I don't have to worry about all of that anymore. So, you are getting lifetime access to the Diet Proof online coaching program valued at $997. Also, 6 weeks of live coaching and support, plus a year of access to my private Facebook support group valued at $497. The Diet Proof exercise guide for $297, the Diet Proof meal planning template for $297, and the Diet Proof mindset flowcharts and cheat sheets, a value of $97, for a total value of $2,185. Now, obviously, I am not going to charge you $2,185 for this program, though there are coaches out there that do. But if I did charge you $2,185 and all this program did was give you ease and control around all foods from this day forward, would it be worth it to you? If all this program did was help you stop overeating because of food polarization, would it be worth $2,185? If all this program did was allow you to find pleasure and satisfaction from each and every one of your eating experiences so your appetite could be your friend instead of your enemy, would it be worth it? How much are you likely going to spend if you continue bouncing from diet to diet, purchasing expensive food books, trying one program and then another? So, if you had a body at its healthy ideal weight today, would that be worth it to you? How much would you pay to lose weight without dieting and total ease around food? Have total ease around food. You can probably see why some people would pay $2,185 for these results, because it's not a cost, it's an investment in yourself. I once offered my coaching services for free to a friend struggling with her health. She was so excited about this offer, but we never really got started and she never really made changes. I realized I had actually done her a huge disservice by offering her something so awesome for free. Because she didn't invest anything on her end, she didn't take it seriously and she didn't take action. Spending money can be good because you know you are getting something great in return. It creates a sense of action and commitment. So you've already seen how this course is worth $2,185, and even at that price, it is a great deal. But because this is the first time I'm launching this curriculum in an online format, in other words, I'm in beta or testing mode, and because you've attended this webinar today, I am offering this course for the price of $219. Just click the enroll button below the chat box and have your credit card or PayPal account information ready to enroll today for this awesome price. Now, you might be thinking, I don't want to spend any more money on weight loss programs. I don't want you to either. Years ago, when we had just moved into our first home, it seemed like we were marked with a huge target for door-to-door solicitors. I kept meaning to get a no soliciting sign, but I kept forgetting to buy one. One day, a kid came to my door selling no soliciting vinyl window stickers. Genius. He was offering me a purchase that he could guarantee would be the last purchase I'd ever have to make from a door-to-door salesman. I gladly paid him what he was charging. My goal for you with this course is the same. I want you to never bounce from one diet to another again, wasting your time, energy, emotions, and money for temporary results. I want you to be diet-proof. So at this point, you can choose to take the information you have learned today and do nothing more with it, and your life will probably continue to look a lot the same. Or you can choose to take a leap of faith. I know it can be scary, so I'm offering a 7-day money-back guarantee. If you get into the course and decide it isn't for you, you have 7 days to get a refund on your one-time payment option plan. No questions asked. Just click the enroll button below to go straight to the sign-up page. So remember, you get lifetime access to the online program, including any and all future additions and upgrades. You get the 6 weeks of live coaching and support, plus a year of free access to my private Facebook support group, the Diet Proof exercise guide, the Diet Proof meal planning template, and the Diet Proof mindset flowchart and cheat sheets. A value of over $2,000, but because I'm putting this program online for the first time, I am offering it for just $219. It will never be offered at this low price ever again. And I have one more limited time offer for you. Remember I said at the beginning of the webinar, if you stayed till the end, I'd have a special discount. I have a coupon code good only until this Saturday night, December 1st at midnight Pacific Standard Time, more like 11:59 p.m. It expires at midnight. It is for an additional 10% off this already awesome price. That brings your total to just $197. The code is QUIT 2019, as in quit dieting in 2019. QUIT 2019. This coupon code is good for only the one-time payment option. So just follow the link to register and enter that discount code at checkout to get this limited time price of just $197. It is good through Saturday at midnight only. And once you've gone through this online course, you get to say goodbye to dieting, binging, overeating, and restricting. You'll never have to worry about being out of control with food again. Can you imagine what that will be like when those things have disappeared from your life? Think of everything you'll be able to do with all your newfound time, energy, and money. Aren't you excited to get started? I cannot wait for you to get started with me. And now I will open it up for any questions you might have, but at any time you can click the enroll button to register for this awesome online coaching program. And that coupon code, again, is good through Saturday night. And I will see if we've got any questions. Just write them up in the chat. Okay, I'm watching for any questions and I don't see any. I must have done a good job explaining, but I will wait just one more minute to make sure. Okay, we are going to go ahead and stop. I'm going to just be exiting out, but as I do so, if you've got any questions before I shut this down, make sure you throw them there in the chat box and I will make sure that I answer them. I want to make sure that you're totally on board. Okay, so let's stop the screen share. Stopping the screen share. Okay, sorry, I angled my computer weird so the slides, I could see them. Okay, I am so glad that you joined me today. Thank you so much for being here. I am thrilled to have been able to share this information with you to help you start your own journey to weight loss without any dieting using the Diet Proof Secrets. And I hope that I will see you in the course. Take care. Bye.